Hello class. So I've been meaning to make this video for a while, but I'm finally going to get to it. Let's try running this right now. Selection is not going to do. Okay, so here's my snake game kind of working. Here's the basic idea. These grid lines aren't really necessarily part of the project. You get these little hills, on the board somewhere, and the snake incrementally grows longer, and then the body of the snake follows the movement of the head of the snake. Somebody's talking about this sort of staggered movement, but that effect I actually created on purpose, and I think I could just take it away pretty easily, but yeah, it's just the way I remember snake being when I was a kid. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. So I got an error. I think I just got an error because I've been messing around with different things, and I think this actually has to do with the sound issue. No, thank you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't want to do it. Why would that be a problem? Where's my console? I don't know. I don't really want to get into it. I don't want to get into it. Suffice to say, it was working before, but I've been making some changes to it, so maybe it's not working now. And I think the thing was I moved some of the sound files wrong. But anyways, yeah, I just want to kind of help you guys get set up. And I just got rid of the thing, but yeah, the whole point of me showing you this was just to show you the grid, really, like show you these tiles. And the tiles really just help me have a framework and reference to sort of deal with the rest of the problem. They have a certain dimension to them. Well, that was the dimension I wanted the body of my snake to be. That was the dimension I wanted my pills to be. Hi there.
These came out on Wednesday during the tutorial.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
So there's 4 boxes for you.
Oh, 4 boxes? Okay.
Sorry, just kind of find a place.
Alrighty, thank you. Okay, so, yeah. So anyways, this is kind of the goal for today, is to get this thing set up. Now, I actually used a 2-dimensional array when I created it. The reality is that's not really necessary, and in fact, when we make our kind of board array, I'm not going to use a 2-dimensional array. So how about that? How about them apples? So first of all, I'm going to make a tile class, and secondly, I'm going to make a game class, or whatever. I'm just going to call it game. And this will have the main method in it. So first things first, I'm just going to extend GDB5, and supposedly there's an Alt-Shift thing that I can just push that automatically does all this. Didn't write it down, I guess. Okay, so again, I'm putting everything into this giant source folder. So we're coming down here to utilities, and GDB5 is in there, so I can import it. And then GDB5, remember, is an abstract class. And what that means is there are abstract methods, and there can be fields and methods that are defined, like we see all these methods here. But abstract methods are methods that are declared, like I said, like, hey, we're going to have this method later on, but we're going to leave it up to our child classes, or the classes that inherit from us, to define those methods. I'm trying to look for, yeah, there they are. Boom, 95, 97. Abstract methods, they're declared but not defined at all. And so in order for us to have a working class that extends GDB5, those methods have to be in there and defined. Now these are void methods. They don't return anything. So just by having them in there, it sort of satisfies that requirement. We don't have to do anything else. Let's just say I'm going to call this snake, or what am I call it? Game G1 equals new game. Boom. And I'm going to say G1, let's start. That's really all we have to do just to sort of get GDB5 object to be there and to run, and we see a window. It still says breakout. So we come in here, look at GDB5, whatever we named it. Call it snake. Okie dokie. So that's the game thing. So I'm gonna make this public just so we can see it, and it's a little cheaty, but I'll just declare it. How about that? Is that it? That's all I need for that. That's all I need to do that. Okay, so let's go to tile and think about what the tile object is. Well, hopefully those tiles look a little bit like rectangles to you, and that's because they are. There's little rectangles. And what fields did I have? I have a, well, actually one of the important fields was direction. So this is kind of how I was going to decide snake movement. I was going to have the tile hold on to the direction. I was going to have the head of the snake set the direction for each tile when it got to the tile, but then the rest of the body would pick up the direction from the tile. So the head is setting the direction, and the body is picking up or getting the direction from the tile. So that was kind of an important value. Remember that X, Y are already fields of rectangle, so I don't need to declare those things. Color, I guess. I had a color for this. Maybe that's the color that gets drawn in. And then, so here's my constructor. We'll have it take into X and Y. That's really just location. Maybe I'll get another constructor later too, which could have the direction as a parameter, but I don't know. Right now, I just need X, Y. Okay. And I'm going to say, I'm going to call my super constructor and say X, Y, and then the width, height of the, or size of the rectangle. Maybe it's just something called private size. I'm thinking a little hesitant here on this one. Can I do this? I don't think I can use this in the constructor, but let's see. Yeah, I don't really like that. Size can always result to a variable. Oh, private int. Is this Let's try this. No. Oh. Seemingly I can remember. Well, let me put size in here. No. Yeah, cannot refer an instance value while yeah. Yeah, so I thought that's the thing. You know, to be honest, I'm not used to the 2-argument constructor for rectangle. So if you really want to get crazy, let's go Java API rectangle. And probably find okay. So rectangle, double width, double height. Ooh. So that's going to give me the height and size I want, but it's not going to give me, it's not going to put it in the location. I wanted my XY to put it in the location. So how can we kind of work around that? Well, I guess I could use the 4-argument constructor and just say, you know what, I'm going to have the size be nothing, but immediately afterwards set the size to be size. So take that. All right, I'm going to make a draw method in here. And it needs to take a graphics 2D paintbrush object, right? And we will say pd.setColor. And then we need a color. Well, we could use the color field, but we haven't set that yet. And then instead of filling, I'm going to draw because I want to see like the outline of the object, not like all filled in. Okay, so that essentially draws a tile. Feeling pretty good about it. Don't have any color of those set, so let me just go color equals color.white. Everything will be white to start with. All right, what do you think of that? What do you think of that? So maybe there's some other stuff that we want to get. Oh, I call it color. Maybe there's some other stuff we could do, build on this later on, but just, again, just trying to get some basic stuff going here. And just for fun, to see how this thing works out, I could go to the game class and say, hey, you know what, I just want to make a tile, call it T1, and we'll say new tile. We give it a location. I could say whatever. I'm going to say 300, 300. Just put somewhere in the middle of the board. And we'll come down to draw, and we'll say T1.draw. And here our paintbrush is called win. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Is this going to work? I don't know that I actually... let's see. Oh, look. We got a little tile. A little tile sitting there. Okay? So now the question is, how do we put a whole bunch of tiles into the board? How do we put a whole bunch of tiles in there? And I'm going to make a method here. I'm going to call it make board. It could be static. Could be static or could not be static. I mean, it could be. I could have my game make the board. What do I want to put in the board to make it? Maybe really probably don't need any parameters. Maybe the size of the tiles, or am I setting the size of the tiles in here? Well, I'm going to set the size of the tiles in there. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. All right, everything in here is private. Do you agree? This is a shortcut Alt-Shift-S. Just make a bunch of getters and setters first. Alt-Shift-S. Color, direction, and size. How about we do that for all of them? Okay. And then it's kind of cool because it actually uses them in here too. So I got some getters and setters now. Make board. Really, so I'm going to be working with the dimensions of the of this window, right? Which is max window x, max window y, max window x, max window y, which is 800 by 600, right? And I can get those values. I got getters and setters for those, I think. Or do I not? Yeah, there we go. Get max window x, get max window y. So we come back here. And I think it might be nice to know, just let's create some local values that we can work with. X, this is going to be our width, and int height is going to be GDB 5. All right, let's think about this. So what I'm trying to think is, when I set the XY location, these tiles, I'm giving, and I give XY coordinates, I'm going to be giving the upper left-hand corner XY coordinates, okay? So the first XY coordinate will be 0, 0. I hope you agree, it will be 0, 0. The next XY coordinate will be 20, 0, right? Then 40, 0, then 60, 0. Until I get up to the point where the last one will be 780, 0, because it's going to be left corner, left justify, whatever, 780, 0. But then I'm going to want to reset that, and and it's going to go back to like 0, 20, and then we're going to go 20, 20, all the way to 780, 20. So we're going to do it like that. And so I'm kind of thinking like rows and columns. So I originally did the two-dimensional array. But really what it comes down to is that when I hit 40 is when I need to mod back and make x be 0 and increase the value of y. So let's make an int x. We'll set it to 0, make the y be equal to 0. And then we are going to let's get tripped up on the, so I got 40 going across, is that right? 40, yeah. And then I guess 30 30 rows, so 40 columns and 30 rows, which I think is 1,200. You're saying 1,200 tiles? Seems like too big, doesn't it? Too many? I guess. Wait, let's come back here and say, hold on one second. I think there's 1,200 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess. All right. So I'm gonna say it. I don't know if this is gonna work. For an I equals 0, I is less than 10. Oh wait, hold on a second. Public static tile board. Oh yeah. This is not. It's not an array list. It's not an array list, sir. Okay, so how about that then? How about I say tile, or no, I'm sorry, board is called board, right? Equals new, it's a tile array, right? And it's gonna be size 1,200, I believe, right? With you. We could change these. We could change these up. Use some variables. Y Why 1200? I mean, 1200 is really width times height. No. Well, it's kind of a weird way to get there, but whatever. This is board.length. All right, so let's do it. Okay, so we want to put some tiles in the board. So we're going to say board index I is going to be equal to new tile, and we want to give it our X, Y location. Now here's the trick-a-roonski. After we do each one, I do want to increment, sorry, not Y, but X by 20, and then we're going to move it over. Now, where am I getting that 20 from? And maybe this would be a good place to use a variable, but I'm really getting it from the tile itself, which is a little twisted. Maybe it's board index I dot get size, or it's actually the size of the tile. Okay. So again, if I wanted to change this, by changing a variable, then I could change everything just by changing one value, right? All right. So how's that? Y is going to stay the same. Y is going to stay the same until we get to 40, which is like the number of columns we have, it seems like. So I'm going to say if I is not equal to 0, because I don't want it to happen the first time, and I mod 40 equals 0, then I think what we've found is that magic moment where we're at the end of a row, and we want to set X back to 0, and we want Y to increment by the value of size, right? Whatever size is, which in this case right now is 20. Right? So bada bing, bada boom. I think we just got a whole bunch of tiles laid out on this board. Doesn't return anything. So let's come up here and we could have our game object call make board if we wanted to, right? We're just going to do it once in the main method, so that's why I'm calling it there right now. And then want to make a draw board method maybe. We'll have it take a graphics 2D object, right? I like to call it paintbrush. And I'm basically just going to iterate through the board. So for, they're really tiles, right? For tile T and board, right? I'm going to go T.draw and pass in paintbrush, boom. So now I have to call draw board. This is where maybe I would have liked it to be static, because I have to have the game call it, but it should be fine. I don't really see why that's a problem. Maybe we'll see why it's a problem. It is a problem. Well, actually, since I'm in the class, itself, I don't need to. It's actually this. Sorry. It's not G1. It's this dot draw. This dot draw. Okay. So there we go. All right, let's run this thing and see what happens. And I'm really hoping for a bunch of tiles. And of course, I get an error. Or get size. All right. Well, let's come back here. Yeah, let's come back here to tile. Let's see what get size is all about. Get size is returning an int. Okay, didn't like that. With rectangle get size. Okay, so rectangle has its own get size method here. And I think it returns a double, maybe, would be my guess. I don't know. Do you see it? I don't see it. I don't see it. So what's the problem? Get y width. Height is y a double? I would say. Get this a double. Height. Size. Well, I'm a little confused. And why are we having this problem? Return size. Did what the way I use it? I said it's an int. Oh wait. What? Int. Oh, set size. Yeah, see, set size is a method. Yeah, that's confusing. So set size is a predefined method, which did we see that over here? In this list of all these methods. Do we see set size? Oh, that's a class that has so scale, so rotation, so stuff. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure where DC sets. I do know set size is a method that could be used with rectangle though, because I've used it before and I was using it in the beginning. So it would make sense get size is in there too. So we just have to think of a different variable name. I don't know, let's call it dimension or something like that. Get and probably dimension. Dimension. So I'm trying some different stuff out here. This is not exactly how I wrote my code. All right, what about that? You can still call this variable size. It doesn't really matter. Now we get an error message in the game. Plus equals types int and dimension. What? Dimension's not a type. Oh. It's get dimension, right? Yeah, got you. I believe so. There we go. Wow. This is fun. What kind of error? Thread Stack Overflow error. Wow. Yeah, I don't see why that would matter. I don't see why that would matter. Draw. Oh, I'm calling draw. Yeah. Wow. How about drop board? How about drop board? Wow. All right, let's do it. Yeah. 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 So I feel like the logic was right, like kind of to begin with, but then all these little errors and all these little typos, on my part. But there we go. So we have all these tiles on the board now. Yeah, let me pause right there. Okay. So you have been with me for 30 minutes now, and we have this thing on the screen, and you may be like totally underwhelmed. You're like, oh, I see a bunch of lines. Who cares? And that's a reasonable kind of place to be. Let's get rid of this rando tile object we made and this random drawing of the tile object. Okay? We just have this draw board. Now, what I'm trying to say though is that what we have is this array which has all these objects in it, which know the locations of those objects and can also store information. For example, the direction that we want our